Hello again, Struckweb. Welcome back to another evening of streaming, and today the good news is I'm not gonna stream what I was planning on do. I was planning on doing a different game, but Torchlight 3 just announced early access launch on Steam. You can get your hands on the game right now. But before I go, I'd like to just disclaim that due to me participating in a focus group, I've received a key for the game. So I'm not sure what the right term to call this is, but maybe supported, because I haven't been paid to stream. It's not a sponsored stream, but let's call it supported. I kind of got the key as a reward for me participating in a focus group, giving my feedback when I was previewing along with other members of the community the upcoming endgame feature that probably is now in the game. The rework of the map works. So yeah, just had to put this out there for anyone who might be watching. I think it's the only right if I let you know about this. So before we continue, let's create a character. And I'm gonna probably go for the Dusk Master, as we like to call it, the Dusk Mage. Is my first hero, but I've played them all, I love them all. I can't clone myself 3 times and play all 4 heroes at the same time, so I'm gonna have to start with my mage, because I normally always play mages first. So let's do this. The onion head, oh, the onion head. I think I'm gonna go for the onion head. An onion head, let's make her an evil. Oh, I like that scar. Maybe I'm gonna go for the scar. Yeah, let's go for the scar face. I'm not gonna do hardcore, by the way. It's too early for that. And I'm not sure if even if I'm anyways gonna be doing hardcore at any time, but for now let's select the owl. Mr. Key letter day. Whoops, alright. Ridiculous. This is gonna be super difficult at the start. Or at least used to be. I think they reworked it. So let's see how difficult ridiculous in the early levels will be after the rework. I think it won't be that bad. I'm gonna try and not lower the difficulty from ridiculous on this character. So if the first few levels seems like I'm not doing well, it could be the difficulty. We'll see. Last time I did a level 1 ridiculous hero, it took a while until I actually started doing stuff, until I geared up. So there will be dying, there will be fun times. And Sean, regarding how much the game is, let me quickly check on Steam, because yeah, I haven't even checked myself. Okay, Steam store page. I'm gonna give the link to everyone in the chat. The Steam store page. There it is. The Steam store page. So it says $29.99, which is decent. It's not AAA price. So 30 euros is a decent price. It's not 50-60 USD or euro. 30 euro is pretty decent as a early access launch on Steam for this title, meaning there's still development going on on the game. It's not in its final form. So okay, back to the stream. I got some sort of error. Unable to connect to Torchlight 3 game server. Please check your network connection. Well, I'm pretty sure my connection is fine. I'm streaming. Maybe the game is getting flooded with people. I assume something like that might happen on the early access in the first day. The servers might get a little bit stressed. Totally expected. 29.99 euro in my region. I'm from Bulgaria, from southeastern Europe. I'm not sure whether in the US it won't be $30, which is a little less than 30 euro, but so I think the servers might be overloaded. Let me quickly check on the Discord to see if the servers are overloaded. I mean, I totally expected this, but not that quick. I totally expected this though. Torchlight 3, let's see. We are working on bringing more power / resources. We are definitely investigating, is what they're saying. Creator goes and request. It is highly unlikely you will receive a response this week. And apologies, and I'll try to respond as soon as I can on Monday. Creator codes the request, so that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I think we're having. Okay, can I go offline, or did they not enable offline mode yet? I guess they haven't enabled offline mode yet. They said when the game launches there will be an offline mode. I wouldn't mind creating an offline character and then creating a new one later for online. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I can do right now unless it's fine. But if they're working on adding new servers, new resources, I'm just gonna keep trying to log in, and eventually I will be able to go inside the game. In the meantime, what do you think about the game, guys? Launching in this state. Do you need any information about what was in the alpha? I can provide you with a lot of information. What was in the alpha, what was in the closed beta, and what you might expect to see in the game right now. In the meantime, there's also an announcement I want to share on the Steam page. The announcement, which is this one, Torchlight 3 now available for early access. So you probably already saw it if you were in the Steam page, but until the servers are open for me, I'd rather just have a discussion with you folks. But they did say that they will have an offline mode. They promised that they will have an offline mode. Probably it's still in the works, but they did promise that it will have an offline mode, and offline and online characters will be separate. Meaning people who might want to do modding might do mods for the offline mod. Because the Torchlight 2 community was huge on mods. And if the offline mode allows for modding to be a thing in the game, I'm sure many of the Torchlight 1 and 2 fans would be delighted to hear this. I haven't spoken to them regarding the offline mode much, but I'm pretty sure that it was in the plans, the original plans. So I wonder if I can get inside the game. You can also go on Discord to check what happened. Wow, the Discord is getting getting spammy. Okay. So yeah, Yapper is the culprit. Team is looking at logging issues now. It could be just people from certain regions that can't log in. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people in Europe right now are logged in. Maybe we've overloaded the European servers. Maybe the Americans are still like noon or afternoon. There may be some people who are working on weekends still haven't gotten time to come back home, but the Europeans are probably fooding the servers now. So anyone else wanna talk about the game while we're waiting for me to go inside the server? James Reed on YouTube is asking, does this game have proper PS4 controller support? Actually, in fact, I'm gonna enable the chat for everyone to see each other's messages. So yeah, everyone would be able to now see each other's messages starting from now. I'm gonna disable it later when I go inside the game. But yeah, James Reed is saying, does this game have a proper PS4 controller support? I'm not sure about PS4 controller support. I play on PC, but I think it does have some sort of controller support on PC. I've never tested it myself to confirm how good it is, if it even works, but there should be Torchlight 3 controller support. If not now, probably later, but I'm pretty sure some people were mentioning something about using controllers, if I'm not mistaken. Apparently Torchlight 3 is able to be modded. It's using Unreal Engine instead of Ogre, so we will have to learn it again. Also, it doesn't have modding GUI yet. So James Reed, good to hear that you're a modder. I'm gonna be looking forward to seeing what mods you make for the game, and playing offline every now and then with the mods. And Terry the Tank TV says, hope it comes on Xbox One the same date. And someone said that the pricing in Norway is 19 euro. 19 euro is super nice price in Norway. That's like 10 euro difference between my countries. So it's nice to see that some countries have it cheaper than mine. But yeah, I'm playing on PC. Regarding consoles and stuff, I haven't read much. I can give you a link to the Trevo board. I think I should have a command Trevo TLF. Let me see if YouTube got it. I think my Mixer bot got all its command reset. Maybe my YouTube bot also doesn't want to paste it. Alright, I'm just gonna manually... Oh, never mind. There we go. Nightbot is... Well, Nightbot is... So I'm gonna post it manually for my Mixer viewers, because my bot got reset and I have to re-add all the commands. This is the official Torchlight 3 roadmap. On there we do see console being in the plans, but since it's early access and not launch, I'm assuming probably consoles would get it later, when the early access is finished and the game actually considers itself completely launched. This is what I believe. So on the future beyond beta roadmap, you can see it says certain things, and it says PlayStation and Xbox One and TBD. So we're gonna have to wait and see. I'm gonna keep trying to log in. Hopefully I can soon. But it's stress test day, I guess, today. Kind of expected to have something like that. Someone mentioned something in the Discord. Characters will be reset wiped at the very end of early access. So there's gonna be more wiping at the end of this early access. Players in early access will have the opportunity to purchase the retail copy of the game for less than those who purchased it on its launch day. So basically right now the game is cheaper than it will be when it launches, which is pretty reasonable, pretty nice to encourage people buying a game that's not completely finished yet and helping with the testing. So let me check some more announcements regarding the servers. First, early access patch notes. Alright, let's go through the patch notes while I'm trying to get into the server, and I can discuss the patch notes with all of you. I'm gonna try and make a screenshot of those notes and just open it so everyone can view them. So just a second, capture the entire page. Oh, that's a big chunk of patch notes. We're gonna have some time to go through them. Let me quickly just save them, save as image. Okay, Torchlight 3. Okay, so this is the patch notes. I'm gonna quickly zoom in because it's a big page, a big list. So, as you can see, the Ford comes equipped with Store O feature. I'm gonna keep trying to go into the game. Hopefully I can. But in the meantime, I'm gonna check if everyone is seeing the patch notes. Are you guys seeing the patch notes? You don't seem to be seeing them. Alright, picture, Honeyview, okay. It's not showing the patch notes, I'm gonna try again. Let me just check something. It's still not showing them. Alright, I'm gonna remove the Honeyview window and add it again. Window capture, Honeyview. Okay, there it is. There it is. And somehow it's not even showing me my chat, which is weird. I'm gonna have to kind of re-add it. Alright, that's my chat, which everyone should have been seeing. I don't know why it wasn't showing it, but 350, 450, just a second. So I'm gonna go through the patch notes and we can have a discussion while I'm trying to log in regarding what those patch notes mean for each of the heroes and so on. So quickly, let's try again. I still can't go in the game though. So okay, let's read the notes. General, fixed issues where players would warp. Okay, I'm gonna skip some of the things. Updated the following achievement descriptions. Okay, so Steam achievement descriptions, legendary set achievements. I'm not gonna bother about this. I'm gonna talk about the more interesting stuff. Fix the following achievement tabs. Okay. I want to find things about the interface, the wood, the monsters, things like that. Updated game start menu with early access details. Alright, that's good. I saw that at Legendarium icon, Legendarium info panel. To those of you who don't know what Legendarium is, it's like in Diablo 3 the Kanai cube. You can put the powers of certain legendary items in the Legendarium, and from there those powers would be available for you without needing to wear the items. So it's like if you love this legendary item but you've outleveled it and you still want to keep its power, you can check it into the Legendarium and still get its power without worrying too much. Let me quickly check if I need to restart the game maybe. Social feed. So there aren't that much news about what's happening with the server other than they're investigating. So yeah, right now the servers are still down, not just for me but for others too. Okay, let's keep reading. New war speaker portraits. Okay, that's nice. We can no longer open menus or interact with the UI while the loading screen is up, other than models. Alright, that's understandable. We're removing the damage over time section of the item tooltips. While many weapons will give some change of extra damage to things happening, some elements do more indirect things, which isn't really damage over time. I think removing this part of the UI will make things less confusing. Maybe. Fixed issues with options menu failing to scroll when selection pointer goes beyond what's shown on screen with the gamepad. Okay, so gamepad controller support seems to be there if they're fixing bugs with that. So what else is happening here? Added movement skills tutorial at level 10. Level 10? Really? So I guess by level 10 most people should have the movement skills. I assume probably most people would have it earlier, but I guess level 10 is a nice level to introduce players to movement skills. Escape mechanics and stuff. Added an account tutorial quest to introduce the Gambler NPCs, not bad. Improve story quest rewards, pretty nice. I'm happy with this. Update story quests with gear rewards starting after unearthed evidence to award life-bound versions of the items. Okay, that's interesting. For those of you who don't know what wife-bound versions of items is, wife-bound items are stronger versions of the regular items. But if you die, you lose the life-bound items in your inventory and currently equipped ones. So if it's in your storage, you're not gonna lose it. If it's in your wardrobe, you're not gonna lose it. But if it's in your bags or you're wearing it, you're gonna lose it. But have no fear, there's a resource that you can use to unbind items. So if they're life-bound, you can use this thing to make them not be life-bound anymore, and then even if you die, you're not gonna lose it. So you might wanna stock up on those and save them for when you find something really nice that you wanna unbind. I personally wouldn't worry too much about low level wife-bound gear, but once you reach level 60, you might wanna kind of start trying to find good wife-bound items and then unbind those. Added an additional required task in harder, better, faster, stronger. Okay, to defeat a specific NPC. Okay, fixed quest task in. I'm gonna quickly try to log in again. I'm gonna keep trying. We gotta keep trying. By the way, that's the difficulty. So you have practice, the super casual mode, then you have normal, a good place to start, 20% potion work, then you have hard for skilled RPG players. You can see 20% potion work, item work, and then more potion work, more item work, and so on. Basically, this thing is a badge. This badge would be seen by others. Others would see this badge, and this badge shows the lowest difficulty you have played on. So if you start on ridiculous and never change to any of the others, people would see this next to your name. If you start at normal, people would see this. If you start on ridiculous but at any time change to hard, people would see this one. Or if you change to normal, people would see this one. So it's the lowest difficulty you have played on. So at any time you can start on hard and switch to ridiculous, but people would see the hard badge. But if you want the challenge, you can always increase it. So this is kind of a little bit of a EP kind of to say, hey, look at me, I've only played on ridiculous, and I'm gonna just do that for fun, just for the challenge to see if I can level up my first character only on ridiculous. This is my plan for now, just to see how well it scales, how well the items are kind of dropping to make up for the hard difficulty. We'll see. So added optional side quests, updated activating and deactivating tasks so that the nether boom. Okay, that's a bit too into detail. Items and gear, this is the thing I care the most about. I'm all about the items, all about the wood. Smoothed out animations and added glow to the active shield. Okay, reduce the amount of each gold drop by about 60%. I'm not sure I really like this. I'm not sure I really like this in the early levels. Gold is pretty nice to have and important. When you go into the high levels, you get more gold than you need, and you can gamble. But in the early levels, gold is pretty scarce, from what I've noticed. So hopefully they kind of tweaked that. Reduce how many gold drops that champions and bosses drop to about half of what they were. So not only do we have 60% less gold in each gold drop, they also reduce the amount of gold drops a champion and boss can drop. That means you're gonna have to explore a lot for extra gold from chests and destructibles and stuff like that. Standardize the gold drops from chests to be standard gold drops. Okay. Players now don't automatically pick up gold when the player reaches the gold limit. Okay, that's nice. Fixed an issue where sometimes one-handed weapons were spawning without a damage affix. Okay, I'm just gonna skip some of the stuff. Set the starting railhammer to be rusty railhammer. Alright. Bow remains visible during okay. Okay, so the lineage tree has been renamed as Slammer tree. That's interesting, a nice name. Pistol equip, okay, okay. I wanna see if there's any new skills or any changes to the skills. Ebon Grasp, legendary, now fires a barrage of unholy bolts instead of single one. Okay, that's nice. Doom Pipe, legendary, rewarded to mortar and flamethrower. Okay, shotgunner's shield. Okay. Hey Gwaine, nice to see you again. Let's try and log in again. I'm also gonna check on the Discord if there's any news about the servers going back up. So they're constantly pumping in more capacity for the servers, for what we're seeing. I guess people closer to the server might be able to get there first. But they're saying that they're constantly increasing the capacity. Well, this is the stress test day. Consider this a stress test day. While we are waiting, I can at least try and read the patch notes with you guys and see what we're excited about and what we aren't. I don't think there's anything I'm not really excited about other than the gold drop nerfs, but we'll see how it is once we get into the game. Snecko Stick rebuilt to be compatible with Legendarium. The item itself retains its natural ranged attack, but the affix lists only the poison bolts. Hammer spins some. Okay, now that's nice. Extra charge to pound and spike drive, nice. Man, I can't wait to level up all the heroes and start making builds and share those with you. Today after my stream I'm gonna start leveling up some heroes as well. Some of the other ones I'm gonna try and keep streaming on this hero, but the other heroes I'm probably gonna play off stream just to rush them on some easy difficulty and get those levels up. But for this stream I'm gonna play the mage on ridiculous just for stream purposes. So let's see about the relics, what changed about the relics. Fixed issues with relic stash not showing new relic after creating it. Changed flaming destroyer targeting to direction instead of location. It now rotates to orient before activating. Also tomorrow I'm gonna make a video about the launch, about the patch notes, put it on YouTube, but I'm gonna get some gameplay behind me just to be able to see how things are. Bane's active skill damage from 90 to 140 weapon. Wow, okay, okay. And indicated in the tooltip that it does damage on impact and with poison. Okay. Disabled rotation and get hits on frozen characters. Alright. Only has a dot component, only focuses on the damage. For shock is what indicates the damage to shock bolt steel. Alright. What about forts? Okay. Greatly reduce the resource cost of fort decorations. Those of you who love forts and decorating their bases, good news for you. Somewhat reduce the gold cost for the magic and rare quality for decorations. Fix wardrobe statues to use normal maps properly. Okay. Pets. Set the minimum level for poison pet defense to level 16. Minimum level for electrical pet defense to 31. Okay. Monsters. I'm loving the art, by the way. Fix some infrequent occurrences of spawning a couple monsters. Okay. Browse health increased. Alright. I'm just gonna skip some of this. Move to distance lobby for arena. Okay. Environment. I'm gonna try and log in again. Let's see. I guess it's first come, first serve, based on who gets into the game. So back to the patch notes. Refine ropes for character create ship. The gamer needed a better house interval point. He now has one. Interesting. Move general grab it so it is easier to see her interact icons. Alright. Is Torchlight 3 on Steam? Yes, it is on Steam. I'm gonna try and grab the link for you again. Just a moment to copy it for everyone. So Torchlight 3 on Steam. There's the link. You should be able to see it. Okay, back to the patch notes. So, breakable shadow fading. Blazing monster affix has been updated. I'm wondering what they did with this fix. Sharpshooter skill resist fate milestone revision. Work in progress. That's good to know. Inexpensive blob shadows. So people with crappier PCs, with low-end PCs, should maybe see an improvement in some of the things. It seems like they were working towards that. For into parallax mapped opaque material. Work in progress. All right. Okay. General classes. Fixed client server sync issues with netherwells. That's good to know. I've been having moments where I would see this happening some days ago. Fix for servo-driven uppercut and melee skills and other skills that are single target for hitting sometimes. Okay. Sharpshooter. Added more sharpshooter customization options. Work in progress. Fixed issue with the Ghost Visage tier 3 bonus causing the Shasta status effect icon to be displayed when the skill is used. Fixed Heartseeker's bleed status effect missing mouse over text. Onslaught tier 3 bonus now deals 75% weapon damage with explosive arrow detonate. Okay. I'm gonna keep trying to connect. Eventually the servers would allow me to. I'm just reading in the Discord channel. Thank you for being here today, everyone. It is exciting in so many different ways. Yeah, indeed. It is. That's what they're saying, and I thank everyone here as well. Not just Extra thanking everyone, I'm also thanking everyone. I'm thanking Extra for finally launching the game and for providing me with a key to play the game as well. Okay, I'm gonna try one more time to log in. I'm gonna try every few seconds. Every few seconds is when I'm gonna try to get into the game. Realm Master changes. Fixed issue with tier 3 bonus on Shocking Round. Blasting Charge now refers to vulnerability by name, so the tier 1 milestone refers directly to a described effect. Endurance update. Let's see what the chat is saying again. Not a fail start for stream, but fail start for game. Well, it's early access, so I'm gonna say it was expected to have some sort of stress testing in the first 2-3 days maybe. But let's hope it's just today. The stress testing, I mean, imagine how many players who have not played the game who did not get access to the closed and alpha phases, closed beta and alpha phases. All of those people would be getting the game on early access. They would be trying to get to log in, and there was never any stress testing where they would open the servers to the masses. So this is the first time where the servers are open to everyone who wants to buy the game. So it's to be expected for some server downtime or server connections and people getting disconnected. Um, they're expanding the capacity, which is good. Which is good. They will expand it. But they definitely ditched the MMO idea and they're keeping the online only. But there will be offline. There will be offline mode. But offline mode characters would not be able to play with online only characters. So it would be separate. Right now it's early access, so when the game launches there will be offline mode and there will be probably the possibility of people modding the offline mode. The online only aspect is just to make sure people are not cheating. It's easier to cheat an offline game rather than an online game. So I understand why right now, while it's still in early access, they would wanna probably focus on the online mode, and then eventually, when the game is ready for complete launch meaning not just early access launch, then they would add the offline mode. Okay, back to the patch now. Just need a quick second to charge my headset. Just a moment. Alright, recharging my headset. So if you're wondering what that pew 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 was, so I'm gonna try and log in again. Are we getting in? Yes, maybe, no. And you have to buy the game. If you want to play it, you have to buy the game. You have to buy the game. The prices are different based on your region. For some people like me, it's 29.99 euros. For others, someone from Norway mentioned 19 euros. So I guess it depends what region you are from, what country you're from. Good luck with the pricing in your region. Hopefully you get to be on the cheaper end of things. Endurance becomes not a resource to activate skills, but rather one to trigger extra effects. Dealing... Oh, that's pretty nice. That's a huge change for the Realm Master. Endurance not being a resource to activate skills. Wow. For those of you who don't know what endurance is, the Realm Master used to have something like a revolver, and there used to be 5 charges of endurance. And endurance used to be like the mana, the resource for casting skills for the Realm Master, and now they're changing it to not be a resource to activate skills, but rather one to trigger specific effects from those skills. So dealing damage causes endurance to rise at a fixed rate, still increasing from affixes, items or itemization hooks remain. Okay, that's nice. When endurance is full, any non-trained skill will consume endurance for bonus effects. Endurance never decays. Skills can still be used as normal without endurance, spending their cooldown charges accordingly. Okay, nice. Endurance bonuses. Pound. 2-second cooldown, 3 charges. Endurance bonus, gain 50% attack speed and 50% damage with basic attacks for 10 seconds. Blasting charge would give us throw a cluster of 3 charges instead of just 1. Amazing. And if you combine that with the item that makes it throw 3 instead of 1, would that mean I'm throwing 9 or would that mean I'm throwing 6? I need to see how they rework that item. Legendary that used to do this now states blasting charge always has its endurance bonus. Okay. So the legendary that used to do this, they're just saying it now, what I was wondering. So blasting charge would always throw 3 charges. But you would be able to throw 3 charges if you have endurance. Pretty nice. Hammer spin, gain all charges of pound, blasting charge and flying picks. Okay. Summon an immobile and ancestral spirit who throws picks at enemies. Lantern Flash, when the burn duration ends of the or the enemy dies, they explode for all. I wanna make a Lantern Flash build. Torque Swing, a whirling hammer is sent forward. Slow moving missiles. I've never seen Torque Swing. I wanna see it. I wanna see it. I never got to test it before the game closed down the closed beta for this announcement. Spike Drive gains a charge when you use an endurance bonus. Okay, Ghost Train. 2 more Ghost Trains are cast following. Oh, this would be the boss melter. The boss melter, Ghost Train, triple the trains. Shield Car endurance bonus heals you and nearby allies for 100% of maximum HP. So basically full heal. When you use the Shield Car active skill. Shocking Round endurance bonus, increase endurance regeneration rate by 50% while active. Okay, amazing patch notes. Amazing patch notes. A lot of stuff that I probably missed because there's so much to cover, but in general there's a lot of good things about it. Let's keep trying to log in. If you have any more questions about anything, share them. We can have a discussion. If you have questions about what has been in the game until now. And yeah, it's nice that Inquisitor, nice to see you again. Nice that we've been talking about Torchlight 3 the other day. And I'm happy that many of you guys are excited. And will El Ultimo, the game is not an MMO. In fact, when you leave a lobby, a town, it's just your party and you. You can see other peoples in the hubs. So similar to Path of Exile, when you're in a town, you will get put into a different, let's say, different node that's for your region. So, for example, I'm from Europe and I will be seeing mostly people from Europe in my towns. But someone from the US would be in the same town, they would not see me, but they would see other people from the US. So the only place where you see other people are the hubs, the towns from the different chapters. So there's 3 towns, Act 1, Act 2 and Act 3. 3 different frontiers, 3 different towns. The game is no longer an MMO. I mean, it no longer has the MMO aspect. It still has some things, but when you co-op, it's just you and your party in the zone. It no longer has the open zones. So before, in the alpha, you had some time where you could just exit the town and be in a forest, and in that forest there might be some other players running around you that are in the same region. This is no longer the case. There's no longer respawning enemies in those zones, it's just you and your party. If you kill an enemy, it's not gonna respawn after a minute or 2. So I'm gonna keep trying to get into the game and get some playtime, but we are breaking the servers, obviously. Someone is already playing, and it's not just someone, there's so many people. Added capacity has helped, but we're not done yet. Still fixing as fast as we are able. Hopefully they're adding capacity for not just the US but the European servers as well. Because I just can't wait to be back into the game. In the meantime, I'm gonna create some new heroes. I'm gonna create my heroes ahead of time. So all right. Okay. I'm just gonna create characters, and maybe maybe one of the characters would be able to get into the game. In the meantime, I'm just gonna get all the character names I normally use saved up for my characters before someone snatches those. Well, if someone snatches my names, that's fine. I can just think of some new ones. It's gonna kick me out of the server again. So any more questions? Any other questions about the game? But the hub being open for all players is nice. Being able to see others in the hub is nice because you can see certain things like those difficulty badges. As I was explaining earlier, the difficulty badges basically show the lowest difficulty a character has played. So if you never played anything other than ridiculous, you would see this badge. But let's say you start on ridiculous, but then you say fuck it, I don't want to play ridiculous, it's too difficult, and then you change to hard. Then people would be able to see this badge. When you're in the town, they would be able to see this and say, okay, this guy has played on hard. I haven't been in the game, so I can't confirm whether the things that they previewed to us as endgame system has been implemented. But they did mention that there will be some sort of grouping up, not sure if it's matchmaking or something similar, where it would take into consideration the difficulty that the player plays. Okay, let's try and create another character. Might as well show you the different customization options for all the classes. I guess they said they've added some extra customization options for the sharpshooter. I'm gonna make sharpshooter last. I'm gonna go for my Puffing Billy. Puffing Billy, come on, Puffing Billy. Puffing Billy. You can see different head options. What I love about the Realm Master is that I could see the mustache over some of the helmets. So some of the helmets worked in such a way that you could see that mustache over the helmet. Let's make him the ginger Puffing Billy. It said something about the endurance charges. I didn't read it whether that new information has been added there. Alright, let's take this one. Let's see if we can get into the server with this guy. Of course, ideally I want to play the mage ideally first, so hopefully when I do get into the game I would be on the mage. Let's see, come on, come on. Can we get in? I'm reading in the Discord, single player, yeah. I already said single player will be available at launch. At launch, not yet. Single player offline mode at launch. But yeah, the servers are damn overloaded. Alright, new hero. Finally getting one of the... I think the starting slots you have, I think 5 character slots, which should mean you can create one of each hero and then have one spare for something else, for a mule, for example, if you need a mule. But you have so much storage space due to wardrobes and stuff that you don't really need... So they've added new options to her. Alright, I'm gonna go for number 2 with the freckles. I wish I could rotate to see her hair. Would be nice to add character rotation in this screen. Let's go for this one, seems like a nice one. By the way, this character, the sharpshooter, is amazing. She's amazing. She's so fun to play. I've never streamed gameplay of this character because when she got added, the NDA got put back up. So I've only shown streams during the time when it was called Torchlight Frontiers from those 3 classes. I've never shown streams of me playing this one, but I will be playing her a lot as well, because she's the one I've played the least, so I'll definitely be playing her a lot more than the others. But first I'm gonna level up a mage and then I'm gonna start leveling up the others. So can anyone confirm on my stream from you guys in the chat whether you were able to log into the game? I'm pretty sure most of you, if you are playing, probably might have managed to get inside the game. They're saying we are aware of server issues that are preventing players from connecting and staying connected in game. We are working to resolve these issues as soon as possible and will update when we have more info. Yeah. I mean, stress testing, that's what we're doing now. That's pretty standard for early access launches. I'm gonna keep trying to get in. Let's go back to the chat and see if someone says anything. Beta finished and it's launched. Strider 6000, it's not a complete launch, it's an early access launch. So you can still consider it beta, just open beta. Early access open beta is maybe what we can call it. It's maybe like a soft launch. It's not the full game yet in its state that they wanted it to be. But you can still buy it on Steam. Everyone who wants to can buy it on Steam. And you can always change the difficulty. Ushi, you asked whether you can change the difficulty. You can always change the difficulty. You're just losing the badge. So let's say I start on ridiculous, but I say it's too hard. Give me something that I can do. I can change back to this. Then I can go back to painful and ridiculous when I can, but I would not have the EPIN bragging rights of having this badge next to my name. So basically those badges stay next to your name in the hub, in the town, and others can see the lowest difficulty someone has played. I've said it multiple times, but maybe there's people who didn't hear it, who weren't here earlier. So if you start on ridiculous and never change to a lower difficulty, people would see this nice detailed purple and golden badge. If you however change it to painful, people would see this badge, but that doesn't mean you can't go back to ridiculous for the challenge, for the extra item work and potion work when farming. Oh, you're Gwaint. Alright, I now remember where I knew this name. I was wondering why this name was so familiar. But yeah, Gwaint, that's how it works. You can always change it back. This is just for bragging rights, for EPIN comparison. To say, hey, I can clear the game just on playing on the hardest difficulty. So the biggest challenge for the people who want to brag would be hardcore character, maxed out to the max level, only played on ridiculous. Once you've done that, and once you clear all 100 stages of something I cannot talk about because I don't know whether it's in the game, but there's gonna be 100 levels of a certain end game mode. And once you've cleared all 100 levels of that mode on a hardcore character, on a ridiculous, well, you've beaten the game. It doesn't mean that it's over. You can keep farming, get new gear, but that's an achievement by itself. That's probably the biggest achievement you can do. A hardcore character always playing on ridiculous, beating 100 stages of something that I can't talk about. Well, maybe it's in the game. I don't know. I don't know if this is in the game yet. Probably not, because it would have been in the patch notes. But yeah, I'm gonna keep trying to go into the server. You lost one at level 75. Max level is 60. They changed the max level from 100 to 60. This would allow them some breathing room for when they add new chapters and new acts to have to increase the level cap then. For now, max level is 60, which is super nice because you finish the story around level 40-45 based on how much you're rushing through the story. So once you reach level 45, you can just do some end game. Right now there should be map works, which is getting reworked and changed for something different. But right now there is map works, which you can call end game, but you can do map works from level 1 if you buy the map. I mean, probably level 1 not, but level 2, let's say, because by completing the first quest you're immediately level 2. But yeah, you can buy maps from the NPC and do those maps. And whether it's end game or not, it's kind of depending on your viewpoint. But I still like calling it end game because once you finish the story, that's mostly what you can do. So okay, I'm gonna keep trying to go in. We're breaking the servers pretty hard. Everyone in the Discord is posting screenshots of those errors. And Echterbean, which is the community manager of Torchlight 3, she said that she will make so much noise when the servers are officially stable, which is good to know. Good to know. So yeah, we're just gonna keep waiting. Any more questions? I mean, I've got experience. I've got more than 1,000 hours in the game while it was still in alpha. While it was still in alpha, I mean, I didn't play that much when it changed to beta. So while it changed into beta, I probably have less than 100 hours on my Steam account. But before, when it was on the Perfect World Arc launcher, I've got just in the alpha more than 1,000 hours of just me streaming, excluding build videos and stuff. So I may not be that familiar with the most recent changes, but I've got pretty much a lot of stuff I can talk about. So feel free to ask questions regarding the different classes, what they're like, what skills they've got. Eventually I'm gonna make some content. First of all, I'm probably gonna level up all the heroes to a certain level so I can show you every single skill, what it does, how it is, and then eventually I'm gonna start leveling them up to 40 something so we can make a proper build. Papi is a member of the community who made a build planner that you can use. I'm gonna try and find the best, the newest link for that one later. But yeah, in the Torchlight 3 beta, I've only got 43 hours on my account. But in the alpha, I've got over 1,000 just from streams. So definitely don't have that much experience with the newest stuff. How does the gameplay compare to Torchlight 2, and will we be able to mod? For modding, you're probably gonna have to wait for launch, because we don't have offline mode right now. Right now it's online only because it's not completely launched, it's early access. There will be offline mode, so if you are familiar with Unreal Engine 4, you might be able to mod it. You might wanna have to talk to some of the developers on Discord whether modding would be allowed. I'm pretty sure it should be. I don't see a reason to forbid people from modding the game for the offline mod. Um, I mean, Torchlight 1 and 2 was so great in regards to the modding, especially Torchlight 2 with the Synergies mod, and there were so many people in the Steam workshop pumping out new classes and different quality of life things for Torchlight 2. When it's compared to Torchlight 1 and 2, I'm gonna say the game feels very different. It still feels like you're playing a game in the Torchlight universe, but it plays differently than Torchlight 2. For some this is not great, for some it's great. For me, I really love how this game plays. I think it plays very nicely and smooth, and they've polished a lot of the skill animations and the behavior. There were some things that are very annoying, like how certain skills work and behave, and they kind of changed that. For example, now when you use an escape mechanic, it immediately interrupts whatever you've been casting or doing, which in my opinion should be in every hack and slash ARPG. If you use an escape mechanic, skill, dash, dodge roll, whatever, it should interrupt whatever you're doing and get you out of harm's way, cancel that skill you've been channeling or whatever. And this is something they've added a couple of months ago or so. When it comes to the universe, it's a century after the Torchlight 2, so things have changed, the universe is different, pets feel completely different, but still kind of familiar. You don't have fishing, you don't have feeding fish to your pet to make it transform. You do have a lot of different types of pets you can collect by saving them from pet cages. I mean, basically I'm providing you with a lot of information, but keep those questions coming while I try to log in. I mean, whatever knowledge I have, I'm gonna try and share it with you. And Kenny, nice to see you. And it's not that I'm getting disconnected, I just can't even connect to the servers. They're just overloaded. I mean, some people are lucky enough to get connected, but I've got an experience with those cases of stress testing and stuff like that, being able to walk into the servers and not being able to walk into the servers when it's early access launch days. Things like Temtem, for example, when they were doing the public stress test. Things like what was that Unity game, that MMO, the Italian one, Fractured. I had some experience with the Fractured stress test. I mean, let's consider today stress test day for the servers instead of early access launch day. Let's see early access stress test launch weekend. Unfortunately, it's 10:41 p.m. So I'm probably gonna stream for another 2 hours. Hopefully within those 2 hours I can log into the game. Tomorrow I will try to wake up early and maybe do some content like a patch notes video, overview, etc., and then start streaming early. We will see what's gonna happen, but I really hope I can get into the game before it's midnight in my time zone. So come on, servers. I know you want to let me in. But yeah, most people would probably play more tomorrow. I'm actually surprised they decided to do this on a Saturday. I mean, yeah, there's a ton of people who can do that on a Saturday, and they're doing some weekend work now. But yeah, pretty interesting. As a Saturday to be the day for the launch. Okay, I'm gonna wait another minute. I'm gonna go back to the Discord. Look at that achievement: defeat 1 million monsters. Monster Hunter. That's my kind of grindy achievement. And Ranged Forged, someone said I can't wait if Ranged Forged is worth playing now. Well, it was worth playing a couple of weeks ago, right before they shut down the closed beta servers. So I'm gonna answer some of the questions I've been seeing in the Discord as well that the developers have been answering. Those of you might be wondering about that. Uh, so first of all, you have shared stash. Shared stash which you can expand and get more stash tabs from completing certain things like contracts. And contracts are something that it's gonna be hard to explain it with a few words, but it's basically a system where when you kill champions you gain fame, and fame gives you, when you get certain number of fame points you get a level up in the contract, and each time you level up a contract it's like a semi-battle pass, but you don't pay for it, it's free there, it's for everyone, but you have different levels, and every level you get different rewards. And once you reach the max level of a contract, you can just keep repeating it. Each contract has like, once you reach the max level, there's another 10 levels that you can just repeat. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, repeat those. Or you can start a new contract. So there's different contracts that give you different rewards. And you can earn stash tabs, I think, from some of those contracts. On top of that, the other type of storage you have is wardrobes, which is basically statues. You create a statue, you place it in your fort, you can open that statue, and in that statue you can put a whole set of items. So you can put main hand, off hand, all the armor pieces, cannons, etc. And you can either hot swap one by one, or you can just completely change all your equipped items to the ones that are in the statue. So I'm pretty sure some of you might have been wondering about the storage, so I decided to talk about that. Let's try and go into the game again. Hopefully it works. And another thing I've just saw people talking about. So another thing that people have been talking about is some of the shared zones. Some of the shared zones, as I said, are the hubs, the towns. So you see people in the towns, but there's other places where you might be able to see people. I didn't say about those earlier, and that's passageways. So the way the game works is there's different maps, different places. I'm gonna try and see if I can find an image for everyone to see. Images. I probably won't be able to find you screenshots of that, of the map, how it works. But let's say each zone has, each frontier has 6 different zones you can get into, I think. If I'm giving you the right information. And in between those 6 zones there's gonna be passages, 5 passages. And in those 5 passages you can see other people, and you can actually see someone else's fort. So let's say you vote into a passage, it randomly generates someone else, another player's fort. You can visit that person's fort, you can use some of their buildings. For example, you can use the Tree of Luck. You can donate an item to their Tree of Luck, which would level up or give them XP towards leveling up the Tree of Luck, this is the Tree of Luck. It's in the fort, it's something you place in the fort. So you can donate an item, and based on what rarity the item is, it gives you XP. And once the Tree of Luck reaches level 5, it gives you the max possible gear luck item luck, which is 5%. So each level gives you 1% gear luck. But what happens when you donate to someone else's tree? You get a buff. You get a buff that gives you item gear find, or whatever you want to call it, magic find buff, for a few seconds, for like 300 seconds I think it was. Maybe they changed it, how much it is, and the other person gets the XP. So you can also use other things in their fort, but that's just an example of things you could use. Yeah, probably other people can enter and stream it. I mean, not much I can do about it. I'm trying to get in, but I'm from a small country in Eastern Europe. Maybe we don't have that good of a connection with the server and it probably prioritizes people with the least amount of ping. Probably that's what I think. Mostly probably if you're with low ping, it might be easier to get into the server. Of course, the servers are full and maybe just completely RNG. Maybe it's based on when you're connecting, whether someone got disconnected in the same time. I hope they fix this soon, because now we're just looking at a connection screen and that's it. I know it might be boring and frustrating to some of you, but not much I can do. They are working on upscaling, and it's been already like maybe an hour since that. I mean, I've been streaming for an hour and 12 minutes. I can't even I don't even believe how the time passed so quickly. An hour and 12 minutes since I've been trying to log into the server. I thought it was just like half an hour, but I guess it was more. I guess it was more. But yeah, pretty nice. Let's see what else is here. Yeah, there's some other things. Do you have any more questions about certain things in the game? How certain systems work? I mean, I'm trying to talk about all the stuff that people might want to talk about the information I can provide you with as a new player that you might need to know, and me being a veteran player in a way. And talking about the fourth planner and the skill calculator, I'm gonna try and find the Torchlight 3 skill calculator in the meantimes. The skill calculator I think I had it somewhere, but I wanna see if it's still there. There we go. There we go. I want to see if that's the latest version. It should be. It should be. Okay, this is the link. So if you wanna theory craft your build, go ahead. Go ahead. If you want a build, actually now is your time to ask me for builds. I can make you a build that you can follow when leveling up. I can make you a build that you can follow when leveling up, and if you're a new player and want some help with that, now is your time to ask me. I can quickly make one for you while we're waiting for me to log into the game. I know what skills might be good for what heroes and what relic weapon to use. I mean, in general, if you're wondering what relic weapon to pick, my answer would be Bane. Bane is probably the best relic weapon right now. At least for me it is. Maybe for other people it isn't, but Bane is good for both summoner builds and for non-summoner builds. It's just, I think it has the most DPS-y active relic skill. So it says poisoning for 100% weapon damage per second for 4 seconds in the build planner, but it actually is 140 as per the patch notes. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. It has been buffed even more. But yeah, there's a lot of info I can provide you with. Just I can't provide all the info at once. So shoot those questions at me as much as you want, and if you want builds, I can try and quickly make one for you. You're looking at sharpshooter. If you're looking at sharpshooter, I can tell you one thing, that I'm not a big fan of how they reworked some things of the sharpshooter. If you're looking at the sharpshooter as a class to play, I can tell you some good skills. Basically, my favorite skill in the sharpshooter used to be scatter shot. Scatter shot used to be amazing, but they changed it. But I still tried the scatter shot build and I liked it. I liked the scatter shot build. So I'm gonna tell you something that you might want to consider when playing a scatter shot if you like a multi-shot kind of build. If you don't want a summon build, because I haven't tested the Royal Shasta. which is the new summon skill I never tested. Certain things to highlight for the sharpshooter. Curse of PP is amazing. It is amazing because first it inflicts weapon damage, it binds the enemies, and it reduces the damage they do. And killing a cursed enemy can return ammo, and there's also a chance to return more ammo based on how many tears you do. Another thing that's amazing is Rizzi's Fate. Rizzi's Fate damages enemies and also slows them. So first thing that I think one needs to learn about the sharpshooter is that there's a way of balancing precision and adventurer skills. When you use an adventurer skill, it gives you a certain bonus. That lasts for a few seconds and that has a cooldown, or if it's not for a few seconds, then it might be for the next 3 precision skills. For example, Ghost Visage is your blink skill. After you use Ghost Visage, you get your next 3 precision skills critical hit chance to be increased by 50%. And that's not 50%. For example, you have 30%. That's not gonna give you 15, which is 50 of that, but it gives you flat 50% increase to those 30%, which would make it 80. Although I don't think 80 is possible. I need to check what the limit was for crit chance. But yeah, in any case, you have to kind of make a balance. Use a adventurer skill and then use a precision skill. Something I really liked while leveling up at the start was tight grouping. When leveling up a sharpshooter. Eventually you would probably want to max out scattershot. You would want to max out actually you don't want to max out tight grouping, you want tier 2 tight grouping. So let's say you put 6 points into tight grouping, you put 12 points into 10 points into scattershot. You're probably gonna put where was this thing? 30% more damage for precision skills is your levels is your 6 points into reload. And then there was this thing, 10% critical hit chance for precision skills from Scout's Bones. So 6 points into Scout Bones is nice. Ghost Visage, I would probably go for 6 points, but you might end up experimenting, eventually maxing out Ghost Visage. Whether you want sharpshooter skill cooldowns should be up to you. So Sacrifice of Goose is probably optional. If you're going for a pet build, you might want to go into Goblin Legion, but I'm gonna quickly make a build that people might want to consider making in the end. Relic active skill damage is very nice if you use it, and if you're using Bane, I'm gonna strongly suggest using the Relic active skill damage. They did something I have been asking for a long time in the relics, not needing to invest into 5 points into one skill to unlock the next, you just need to get the relic at a certain level to unlock certain tier skills. I'm probably gonna suggest going for spiders and venomous maw in the Bane, increasing the spider count. Of course you would need to be poisoning enemies, so probably something like this. 40 points, there we go, is what I might suggest. So I'm gonna quickly give you a link, just a moment to finish the build. Now I'm at 40 levels. I'm probably gonna do damage to blinded, sword or stunned. I don't think I want that. Chance to return ammo on kill for precision, okay. So Curse of PP is probably what I'm gonna suggest, but that remains to be seen. I don't really remember what I was playing because they really changed some of the stuff. Chance to stun for precision skills only 5%, whether it's worth it, it remains to be seen. Heartseeker is nice because it can heal you. I wish you could see what I'm doing right now, but my thing doesn't let me share my browser. I'm gonna try and log into the game again. Hopefully I can. I can't. Okay, I'm gonna try again. So let me try and share my browser just so I can show you what I'm doing right now. It didn't let me before, but maybe now it will. I'm gonna try and do window capture, Firefox. Yeah, that's gonna be a little bit difficult to share with you, but I'm gonna have to resize it. Just a moment. I need to add a filter here. Okay, there we go. Crop. Okay, I think that would work. Now maybe you can see this. Well, this is what I'm doing right now while waiting for the game. So you wanted something with sharpshooter. Let's try and make you that build. So basically, as I was saying, this one is a great skill. It does a lot of damage. That's if you want to be a nuker, not a pet build. If you want a pet build, you go for Goblin Legion and for Royal Shasta. I've never tested Royal Shasta build, but I've tested Goblin Legion back when Sharpshooter first landed. So you would probably want this to make the enemies do less damage. And your next precision skills, you also apply this curse, stacking up to 2 times, which means you can get the damage reduced by a watt on those enemies. I'm not sure whether you want too many points invested there. This one is again, as I said, an option to get health back. 5% chance for precision skills to heal you for 5% of your total HP on hit. I'm not a big fan that it's only 5% chance. Not a big fan that it's only 5% chance. But at around level 43 you're probably looking at something like this. I would suggest max out the cooldown on this one first, even if you don't max out the damage. If you have cooldown reduction for active skills of the relic, you're probably fine. Legendarium, I haven't tinkered with that much, so I'm not sure what you might want. I guess it depends on what items drop for you. Sharp bow. Onslaught builds would be interesting. Onslaught builds would also be interesting, and I'm wondering whether you want to be using this in the bar. I mean, you're probably going to be using this. You're probably going to be using this. You're probably going to be using either Onslaught or tight grouping here. What I normally do is Venomous Maw over there. Revolt, I don't think I need it anymore. I used to use it before when Scatter Shot was not a cooldown skill. You would want some decent cooldown reduction. You do want cooldown reduction, and that cooldown reduction was... where did the cooldown reduction go? This one, 10% cooldown reduction. So you want those 6 points here. I'm not sure whether you want that Spectre. This 10% damage to blinded, sword or stunned enemies is nice, so you probably want those points there, because you're gonna be binding enemies with this. You're gonna be binding enemies with this, and you're gonna be making them do less damage, and you can make them take more damage with that one. And then you might as well consider something like tight grouping or Onslaught. And if you go for Onslaught, you're probably gonna wanna use this bow or this bow. So So Onslaught is your rain of arrows basically. So Legendarium again is just optional. I'm not gonna go into details for that. If you want builds for other stuff, let me know. This is what you would be looking at level 55. There's a lot of more room to make it better. It's just something I made right now. So consider reworking certain things. Consider reworking certain things. For example, here I'm not sure what you might want. I mean, you might want to revolt, so you can kind of spam teleports when you need to be moving faster, or you might want to put Resist Fate to do some extra curse damage, or you might even want to put some goblins and just have some goblins stacking with the 8-legged allies to have the pets. If you don't want to go for the spiders, you're probably looking at something like this. Something like this would be nice on the Bane. But yeah, that's just one version. What I would probably be going for on the Disc Mage would be, again, I'm gonna be going for a pet Disc Mage build. I'm going for a Spirit Well Entropy build. This is what I'm going for. So I think there's some changes. I think this now gives you dark skill damage, this one gives you white skill damage. This has not been updated apparently, but I'm pretty sure this is now how it works. This gives you dark skill damage, this gives you white skill damage. So ideally you want entropy leveled up to the maximum. And you want that here, you want that here. You want Luminous Run, probably Relic active skill damage. I'm not sure whether I want the Luminous Run invulnerability. Then you want this one, and this damage to pets, I want to know whether this damage to pets applies to Spirit Well and applies to 8-legged allies. So I'm gonna go for this here, and what I like using is either Damnation or something else. Concentration is pretty nice as well. They nerfed how much this heals of your total HP, so this also has been nerfed. You might want Holy Bolt or Holy Fury. Cooldown for Disc Mage skills. Where did... See, this crit chance for dark skills was moved somewhere. I'm not sure where it got moved, but it got moved somewhere. You also want that mana regeneration probably, even if you don't use Shadow Step, but feel free to use it when moving to swap it. Relic active skill cooldowns, you probably want that as well. And we're at 50 levels now. So cooldown for Disc Mage skills. I need to be into the game to see exactly how things got moved, but a lot of things got moved. I'm gonna check on the Discord. As people are still QQing about the disconnects. I mean, that's something that happens. If you don't expect this to happen, then you're not prepared for early access launches or for launches or for stress tests. You kind of have to. So this critical hit chance for dark skills, I think it was in another place before, but if you need the cooldown, get this. If you don't need it, don't get it. But normally what I do here is I probably go for Holy Fury. And I probably won't get this one. And I'm probably gonna use Holy Fury to build the black bar. And this one to build the white bar. And to get those buffs. And over here I'm probably gonna use Consecration. This is probably what I'm gonna do. And sometimes I might replace Consecration for Damnation. Sometimes. Because basically the way this game works is by getting certain tier bonuses. First you get a bonus for the skill. then second you might get a bonus to other types of skills. And even if you don't use the skill, it's kind of like getting a passive by investing into the skill. This is probably what I'm gonna be doing as a pet build. You get pets here. In fact, I might max this one out. I might max this one out, and the highest priority would be maxing that one as soon as you can. Maybe this one shouldn't be that big of a priority, and maybe you might leave this one later, and maybe you might leave this one for later as well. And maybe you might keep this at 1 point just to use it as an energy generator. Maybe you might even use this one, Holy Boat, to generate not energy but to generate dark skill, dark bar buff. Because what using white skill does, there's a dark bar. It gets filled up as you hit enemies with white skills. And there's a white bar that gets filled as you hit enemies with dark skills. When you reach the white bar and you use a dark skill, it gives you energy regeneration buff, I think, unless they changed it. And then when you fill up the black bar, the dark bar with white skills, you get a damage buff when you use a dark skill afterwards. So I'm not gonna go into legendarium things, but this is kind of maybe what the end setup might look like. I still have to figure out where they put that crit chance for dark skills. I think they might have put it here. No, they might have put it. Fuck, I don't know where they put it. I'm pretty sure they put it somewhere. Oh yeah, here. Crit chance for white skills is here. Crit chance for dark skills is here. So that means we don't need that many points on this one. We just need 3 points if we want to use it. Or in fact you might replace this with Holy Boat or even with Absolver. But Absolver is a little bit on the expensive side when it comes to mana cost. This is probably what I'm gonna be doing though, on the pet damage stuff. And I'm hoping this pet damage here works on those pets as well as those ones. Let's try and log in again. I really hope before I stop my stream I can log into the game. In the meantime, let's talk about the other classes. Let's check some of the chat messages. Yeah, launch day complaints are are the best. So, are there any microtransactions or anything like that? If so, I'm not buying it. No, there's no microtransactions. They have removed all sorts of cash shop microtransactions. There's only buy the game and play it. And good gear wood is pretty nice. There's amazing items, amazing stuff in the game that you can get. So keep that in mind. There's gonna be plenty of builds that you can get. So, do you want to see something about the Realm Master right now? If you're looking at some builds to start you off, I'm gonna keep trying to log in. Just a moment. I'm gonna try and see what we can do here. Come on, game, let me in. Come on, it's been so long. Some people have disconnected and managed to get back in. Okay. I'm gonna check some more of the social feeds and announcements. Yeah, they're still actively working on getting us back into the game. Well, that's how it is. I'm gonna keep trying every few minutes. In the meantime, let's talk about the other classes. Let's show you what you might wanna go for on some of the other classes out there. I'm gonna quickly do something though. I need to crop some stuff. Filters. I'm gonna crop the right. Alright, let's do 300 pixels. Okay, 400 pixels. Okay, 450. 470. Alright, 500. Alright, that's enough, I guess. I'm just gonna try and crop as much as I can, so that I'm not covering that much of my screen. Okay, so switching on to, let's say forged. Many people would be wondering about the forged. Again, with the relic, it's up to you, but I like playing with deadly Maw. But on the forged, a good choice of relic could be the freezing one, or the electric one is also an amazing choice. The wood drinker is not bad if you want healing, but I'm thinking the electrode would be nice because you have higher chance of proccing if you go for a spin to win build, if you go for a cyclone mode build. If you want a ranged build, you've got three options on what will be the main skill for damage: rapid fire, shotgun blast, or swag shot. If you want to be proccing stuff, you want more attacks per second, which means rapid fire for more attacks per second. Also, furnace blast is amazing. Furnace blast is just amazing. Vortex bomb is great for venting, and I prefer Vortex Bomb instead of Coal Launch. But you might wanna use Furnace Blast when you're playing a ranged build, because it does cannon damage. So I'm gonna tell you which is a good skill, which I think you want in a build. First of all, if you want movement speed and survivability, well, they did remove the movement speed here. But if you want survivability, where did it go? There was this... Fuck, where did they move it? There was one thing that gave you damage reduction for melee. They probably removed that. So if you want a ranged build, you're probably gonna have to pick one of those three and max it out. I like playing with rapid fire builds, and even if you're not playing rapid fire build, you might wanna get 6 points here for the 20% damage. Then if you're gonna be burning enemies, you might wanna consider Flaming Destroyer. And you might wanna get those 6 points here. If you're not gonna be burning, if you're not gonna be using this one, then that's a completely different build. But I'm suggesting to try a burning build if you want ranged. Something like that might work. Critical hit chance for barrage skills, don't mind if I do. So they changed swag shot. Before swag shot, when you max it out, used to be 102% chance, crit chance. Now it always crits when you max this one out, and every 5th shot critically hits and deals double damage. It's pretty nice if you go for a swag shot. You have to decide which one of those you want as your main damage thing, but you really want that one. Whether you want the tier 3 bonus, it's kind of optional. Relic active skill damage is probably what I'm gonna get if I'm going for that, so I'm probably gonna go for something like I want mobility. Burning hotspots, this is optional, but it's gonna synergize well for a burning build. Where did it go? Here. So I'm gonna do something like this if I were to do that. Then damage reduction in melee combat, this is what you want. Even if you're ranged, it's gonna help you greatly sometimes. This is optional, but it's not a bad one. Something that you might consider. You might want to consider, let's say you go for a swag shot, for example, but this one for the healing. It gives you defense and it can heal. And you also get block chance while you're next to it. I didn't really like it when I played with it. but it's pretty nice, I guess, for some people. So consider that an option. Consider that an option. I guess this might be a little bit overkill, but that's like 46, and then for 50 maybe you can go that way, or maybe you can go that way. That's actually pretty nice. I'm wondering if this one, proccing swag shot, means that every fifth swag shot that we proc with rapid fire, when we max this one, would be like that. So I'm gonna experiment a lot with it, and hopefully that's how it works. This would be nice for flaming projectiles, so that's not gonna be bad if you wanna use it. That's more AoE, that's more for single target, and this is for piercing AoE. So this is one version. I mean, here you're gonna have to figure out what you want. There's many ways to do things. Definitely many ways to do certain things. I love doing that, but someone might probably prefer playing it like this. Something like this. The melee version I like playing on this dude. By the way, for this I'm gonna suggest go for Firestorm and go for probably Sword Smash if you wanna use it. If you don't use it, then of course avoid it. I really love Lingering Blaze. Highlight of this one would be Lingering Blaze. But let's say I make a pet build melee pet build. I'm gonna go for Bane again. I mean, pet builds and Banes are just what we do love. So let's say we go for melee. Wow, poisoned by poison dart. I'm not gonna bother with that, but I'm a big fan of Fracking Strike. Huge fan of Fracking Strike. Even though now it works differently, I'm a big fan of it. I really like how they reworked servo-driven uppercut. It feels much better now, so I don't feel bad investing 6 points into that one. If you want spin to win, of course you want that one. But what I like is Vortex Bomb Fracking Strike. It goes very well. Bro skills damage, you want 6 points here, and this one is nice after venting that extra block chance. Even if you don't use it as an active skill. So you have to decide rapid strike or servo driven uppercut, and I think servo driven is now my favorite one. So probably something like this, and then something like this, and that's probably what I might do for a melee build. And you still have 4 points to decide where to spend them. If you're gonna be melee build, I'm gonna suggest maybe 4 points here, or something like getting those 6 points here. So you want 6 points here. That means let's remove 2 points from this one, and then get those 2 points. And now we have 2 more points. We can just experiment with whatever we want to boost. So this is something that would be nice as a semi-pet, semi-melee build, battle pet build. If you don't want the pets, you remove this, and then you have more points to spend. And you don't use the Bane, and you might want to use Spread of Death. Spread of Death is amazing for builds with the spin to win. If you want a spin to win build, If you're not going for pets, you might wanna go for this. Something like this would be amazing for a spin to win. Of course, you wanna change this here for that, and that works well. I mean, you can replace fracking strike, but I think it's nice to have it, especially for bosses. You can replace it with something like that one. Place this one next to you, so put some points into this, place it next to you, and then start spinning. Now let's go to Realm Master and try to log into the game again. Hopefully they've made it so that I can log in finally. The Torchlight 3 Discord is still getting spammed. And the game already has mostly negative reviews. People massacring the game early in. That's some people who just don't deserve to be in early access. If they are gonna give bad review on the game because on launch day there's server problems, when they're stress testing the servers and stuff like that, I mean, it's to be expected that there won't be enough server space for all the people wanting to get into the game if there has not been any previous stress testing. And it's early access, it's not a launched game. So some people really should be forbidden from doing early access reviews on Steam. Because reviewing a game without even playing it feels like something pointless. Yeah, there's connection issues. Well, chill. Try tomorrow. Try tomorrow. It's not the end of the world if you can't play it today. So let's check back the chat. They tweeted that the servers are back up. I'm not seeing this tweet. The last tweet I saw, we are currently experiencing a server issue. Let me check, maybe I need to check again. Play Torchlight. Play Torchlight. Oh, that was 16 minutes ago. That was 16 minutes ago. They tweeted, but still some people can't walk back in. People still can't walk back in, me being one of those people. So let me try and restart the game. Actually, I'm gonna exit and restart it. And maybe that might change things. Let's see. I mean, it's loading here. I mean, okay. What? Who is Reed? Oh, I didn't name her. Alright, I'm gonna rename her later. I'm gonna make a new one. So let's no, I can't go in. Alright, let's what? My Firefox doesn't show up. Oh, never mind, it does show up, not when it's mini-maze though. Okay, my Firefox, let's do this. I'm gonna try and create a new sharpshooter in the meantime. New hero, and you can see 10 characters is they gave us another 5 slots of characters. Having the ability to have 10 characters. For people who play hardcore and non-hardcore, you can have one of each for hardcore and for non-hardcore now. Let's recreate the one I had before. Can I get into the game? Okay, I'm gonna try and get into the game. In the meantime, give me a minute. I need a quick toilet break, so I'm gonna go take a leak and be right back. Alright, I'm back, thanks for waiting, and I'm not into the server still. It's been almost 2 hours trying to get into the server. I'm not sure why some people are lucky and can get in and I can't, but I think it has to do something with my country being far from the servers, maybe. That's the most likely explanation I can think of. And of course the servers are still filled up to the brim, so there is that. Let's go back to Firefox and talk about certain skills and how you might want to build some classes. We didn't do Railmaster, so maybe it's time to do a Railmaster now. And you just got in? Someone said they just got in. Glad you managed to get in, Shady Killers 69. Another person asks, so are you enjoying the game? How would you compare it to recent Last Epoch and Wosen? I wouldn't compare this game to Last Epoch and Wosen. It does not deserve to be compared to Last Epoch and Wosen because they're different. This game is Torchlight. Torchlight is it's less grim, it's less dark, it's different type of ARPG. It's attracting different type of players. Yeah, we're all ARPG players, but it's not trying to be Diablo. Whereas Last Epoch is trying to be the next Path of Exile in a way, and Wosen is trying to be the next Diablo 3 instead of the next Diablo 2. I wouldn't compare the games too much, but if you want me to, I would say this game is better for the more casual people. You don't feel severely punished when you die. You still have plenty of build variety in the game. Not that much, but decent amount of build variety and depth when it comes to making a build. So you can still kind of have some customization and stuff. The story is not meant to be some sort of epic masterfully crafted story that you go through. It's in the world of Torchlight where the world itself doesn't take itself seriously. I think is if I'm to quote the developers, it's a world that has nice humor in it, as you might know from the previous parts of the game. So let me try and reconnect again, and then I'm gonna continue talking about how this game could compare to other games in the genre. I think the games you want to compare this with would be the more casual games. Like you want to compare this with Pagan Online, you want to compare this with Minecraft Dungeons, you want to compare this with games that are not that dark and grim. Cause oh fuck, I got in. Alright, let's remove this and yeah, let's get on. Let's get it on. Finally. Let me just quickly make sure I'm seeing everything. Okay, and so it begins. Expect me to die a lot because I'm playing on the hardest difficulty from the get-go, and I don't think it's gonna be an easy journey. But yeah. So you can see every character has its own specific mechanic. That's one of the things that I love about the game, is that things have, every character is so distinguishingly different from the other classes. And I love that it's not that difficult to max out a character now that they made 60 the limit and not 100 the limit. So there's not that much level up XP grinding once you're done with the story. You're done with the story around level 40-45, then you grind to 60 begins. Alright, what do I wanna grab first? I'm probably gonna start putting points here. And there's a lot of things I love about the game though. And the itemization system is nice because they do have sets. Oh, and we lost connection. They do have sets, but the sets are soft sets. So you only need 3 pieces of the set to get the full bonus of it. So you can mix 3 pieces of one set with 3 pieces of another set. And that doesn't eliminate all the choices. For example, like Diablo 3 does. Diablo 3 does things much differently, where you collect that one set, you play with the boosted version of a certain skill based on that set, and you only make the build around the skill that this set boosts. In this game, you can mix and match 2 different sets and have some amazing combinations. You also have the Legendarium, which allows you to put another 3 legendary items powers in it. I also just got disconnected, so yeah. There's a lot of interesting items that you can collect though. Interesting items that are build opening, as I like to call them. You want that item because it gives you that power boosting this specific skill. So that's kind of how it is. Hey, we got to level 2 though, before we got disconnected. 1 level. We got 1 level in. Still better than no levels in. So if you're playing a mage, just note this thing: entropy is amazing if you're playing a mage. And I'm back to not being inside the game. I'm gonna keep trying to go in. I'm gonna keep trying to go in. Yeah, interesting stuff happening. Come on. Come on, come on. Get the scene, get the scene. I am kind of surprised they didn't anticipate that many people going into the servers. But you never can be prepared enough for days like this, where the servers are getting flooded with new players. Because they might have anticipated a certain number and then ended up getting 10 times more the attention. So there's that. Come on, game. I know you wanna let me in. Yeah, I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna try and restart the game again just to see if it's gonna work. Because it did work earlier. It did work earlier. Alright, I'm gonna Alt and F for this bad boy. And try to restart it. I need to delete my beta shortcut. Torchlight 3 beta, delete. Torchlight 3 normal. There we go. It's weird when we get disconnected. I think people who have bigger ping to the servers get disconnected more often. And since I'm in Eastern Europe and the servers are probably around Central Europe, I'm assuming I'm connecting to servers in Germany or somewhere around there. And I'm probably, even if I get inside the server, I'm probably gonna get disconnected often until there's more room. But yeah, I hope they just do a huge boost on the server numbers. Like, for example, if they have a certain capacity right now and still not enough, just fucking quadruple or triple the capacity, or even 10 times the capacity, and see if it works. But I'm thinking they're taking it slow, figuring out what numbers they need. You live in Germany and you still get disconnected. Alright. Yeah, the game seemed a little bit waggy when I got in. I'm assuming again the servers being overloaded, all the different nodes. It's one of those days. I mean, I've got another hour. If I can get some playtime for that hour while streaming, fine. Once my stream is over, I won't be opposed to grouping up and playing off stream with some of you if the servers are stable in an hour from now. I know it costs more money to increase the capacity. It makes sense to cost more money to increase a server's capacity, and that's to be expected. But they can always close down some of the capacity they get, and for now, I think they should just be brave with the capacity. Be brave. If they end up buying more capacity than it's needed, they can always close it down in a few days or in a month or whatever, and get rid of the unnecessary one. But they should expect huge numbers. I mean, Wolsen on day 1, I think, or was it on day 2, had 600,000 players concurrently logged in on Steam. So they shouldn't expect those numbers, but expect half of those numbers, because I mean, all it takes is a few big streamers to start streaming this game, and then there's a fucking chain reaction. Like, for example, a streamer with 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 viewers starts streaming the game, and then you see the floodgates getting opened to all sorts of people wanting to get the game. And I'm not talking about ARPG players, I'm talking about streamers that are variety streamers. That every time there's a new game, they move on to it, play it for a bit, then move on to the next one. And those people normally bring a lot of players into the games they stream. And most of the people who they would bring would play it for a bit and then probably stop playing, but that's fine. That is fine. Okay, I'm back in. So we have to redo this. I'm not opposed to redoing this. So I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, just keep that in mind. If it seems a little bit sluggish and slow, it's the damn difficulty. The game is not that slow if you play it on easier difficulty. Okay. So this character Yapper is the mixed feelings of the game regarding the community. Some people want to fry him, some people want to save him. I'm team save Yapper. Hate me if you want. I don't want to fry Yapper. I like how he talks. I like how he talks. Okay, it definitely feels much easier playing Ridiculous from level 1 compared to a month ago when I was leveling a mage from level 1 only on Ridiculous. They've definitely tweaked the curves of starting a character on Ridiculous. The first few levels were so boring before on Ridiculous. Now I feel like I'm actually doing damage, and it's not like bullet sponges. There are some lagging issues, I think a little bit of delay, or maybe I was stunned. I need to make sure I wasn't stunned. Alright, Yapper's down. So I hope to be getting weapons. Feel free to shoot questions.
Couldn't have defeated Yapper without you. After years of peace, why attack now? No matter. Answers can wait. The wounded need help, and the dead need peace.
I'm not gonna get the weapon, I'm gonna get the armor. Because I already have a green weapon.
After years of peace, why attack now? No matter. Answers can wait. The wounded need help, and the dead need peace. I need you to take the
Alright, let's talk to
fallen soldiers'
Kennick.
swords to Hero's Rest and lay them upon the altars. Hurry back once you're finished. We're just getting started.
I'm gonna see if I can keep my stream instead of until midnight until maybe 1 a.m. because it's a Saturday evening, so I might be able to maybe keep it until 1 a.m. We'll see. It's 15 minutes before midnight, so let's say it's gonna be at least 1 hour, hopefully. After that, again, I would be open to playing with someone, grouping up, teaming up, but after I end my stream. But for now, let's enjoy it. I think I'm getting disconnected again. Looks like it. Looks like I'm probably getting disconnected again. But the community is just spamming like crazy in the Discord. For me, it's not about being woken up, it's about when I talk, my voice is pretty bassy and it travels through the rooms, and it's not about me being sleepy or not, it's about when I talk others can't sleep, so I try to stream until like decent times. Can we go in? Can we go in? Can we go in? If I don't see the loading screen changing, I'm not getting in. But I can try restarting the game again, maybe it's gonna let me in. Alright, I'm gonna restart again. Alt and F for this bad boy, and another try. Come on, come on. I hope they release the content creator press kit or whatever they want to call it, some assets to use for video thumbnails and just to put into our videos for me and the other content creators. They did say there will be something like this coming soon, so we'll see when that is gonna happen. But at least we killed Yapper. We killed Yapper. We did the first quest. And I can confirm the game feels much better now, starting on Ridiculous compared to before. I remember the first time I started on Ridiculous when they added it as an option to select this difficulty from level 1. The second quest boss, the skeleton guy, Bruce Killis. Bruce Killis was so boring to kill, so boring. Let's see if now I'm gonna kill it much faster. I should be able to kill it faster, seeing how the damage scaled on Yapper. And right now I'm not even logging into the character selection screen. What's happening, man? What is happening? Well, people will be QQing about not being able to get in. Failed to log in, please wait. Well, let's try again. Oh, we got in, but not in the game, in the character selection screen. I hope I don't have to kill Yapper again. I think I already completed the quest, so it would probably put me into a different place. But yeah, I think this game would appeal a lot to people who play games like Pagan Online, like Minecraft Dungeons, even people who played games like Chaos Bane and Diablo 3 might enjoy playing this game because it doesn't have that difficult of a build making process like Path of Exile. It doesn't have the skill tree like Wosen. So maybe if you like a more casual, a more easy to learn system, that still offers you a lot of customization choices when you want to synergize a certain build with certain items that open up that build to become even better than it is. This one is the title. I mean, I didn't spend 1,000 hours playing this game in alpha. If I wouldn't spend that much if I thought the game was bad. I mean, if I preferred playing this game compared to Path of Exile or Diablo 3 when it was in alpha in a much worse state than it is right now, this could tell you the type of games I like to play, and as a more casual game how good that felt to me. But again, different people have different preferences, so I might like the game, you might hate it, and yeah, you might like one system that I don't like, but you might hate a system that I do like in a certain game. We're not getting in, are we? I'm reading some. By the way, whoever subscribed, Teslim or Owanin, I can't read that name, but thank you, dude, for the YouTube sub. And someone might be wondering whether there's limits to the game, and there is limit. Level 60 is the maximum, and you have a limit of how many points you can spend on skills and on relic levels. You can get multiple relics and just switch between them and level them differently. Relics level up separately from the player, and relics are something like an artifact that you get extra skills and procs from. Whereas the player levels you can respec with something that drops, called respectables or respectacles, something like that. With those resources you can respec by decreasing a certain skills level by 1 point. So each one of those resources decreases a certain skill by 1 point. There is no full respec, but if you have enough of those points, you can respec fully. So it's kind of like an Orb of Regret in Path of Exile when you use it the way you use it to de-level certain skills by 1 level, certain gems, for example. So that's kind of what I could compare it to closest by de-leveling a certain skills level. And yeah, Noble bro, error. The servers are just busy. I think they really need huge capacity increase. They need huge capacity increase right now. Like if the servers are struggling, triple, quadruple, even quintuple the server capacity of what it is. Hell, even make it 10 times as much if that's the problem. If it's too expensive, I understand why they might wanna take it step by step. It also takes some man hours. It's not like you snap your fingers and bam, the servers are instantly much more spacious in terms of how many people they can accommodate. Come on. I know you wanna let me in. I wanna kill Bruce Killis. I wanna kill Bruce Killis. So if anyone has any more questions, I tried while waiting to log in to talk about all sorts of things in the game. Tried showing you some builds you could experiment with in the skill calculator, but feel free to ask questions regardless whether you're in the game or not, whether you're playing the game now or maybe you're gonna be playing it later. But yeah, error. Hey, where's her bow? What the? She's miming a bow, or maybe that's a bug. Maybe she's actually holding a bow, but the bow is invisible. Also, this guy's image has some problem. It's rough around some edges, early access. There will be some sort of endgame changes. I can't tell you much about it, but it definitely is better than the end game you're gonna see right now, unless it's already in the game. But it wasn't in the patch notes, and I doubt it's ready after what they previewed as was like a work in progress. But the end game feels unique. It still feels familiar to what other games have as endgame, but it's something that as soon as you see it, you would know. As soon as you see me streaming, you would know, hey, that guy's doing endgame. I can tell that what he's doing is the thing you do after you beat the story. It's gonna be distinguishably an endgame activity. I think that's kind of me walking a fine line there without revealing too much, but still teasing a bit of the changes that are supposed to come eventually. Let's try again. Look at this icon. If only I could get in and do a few more quests before my stream ends. Let's see what's happening in the Discord. See, the CEO, Max Schaefer, is saying there's no lesson. This always happens. No way to simulate this. We just have to grind through it. For those of you who don't know who he is, he's one of the people who made Diablo. Max Schaefer, along with his brother, I think, Eric Schaefer, and David Brevik are the creators of Diablo. And he's the CEO, the person behind the game, in charge of that game. And that's what he just said. There's no lesson, this always happens, no way to simulate this, we just have to grind through it. No ETA yet, going as fast as we can is what he said. Sorry guys, we're dealing with massive capacity issues and fixing as fast as we can. This is from the official Discord channel, and he's such a down-to-earth guy. He is always happy to chat with the players. Unlike some other games that I'm in the Discord of, where the developers barely communicate with the community, him and his team are always happy to chat, sometimes even talk over Discord with some of the community members, and they have I like to call this what they did a few weeks ago when they invited me and some of the other community members like streamers, YouTubers, and moderators of the Discord channel to a preview focus group to show us features of a certain endgame mode and ask for feedback. This is like a masterclass of how you develop a game, asking your community. And throughout the alpha stages, there have been multiple times where they would post on the alpha forums certain screenshots, work in progress screenshots of a feature or a rework of a certain feature, to ask us what we think about it before it makes its way onto the live version. And this is what I like about how this game is being developed. They really care about what the community thinks and wants to see in the game. They definitely care about our opinions. They're not only doing what they want, they're trying to do a fine balance between what they want in the game and what we as a community also think about what they want in the game. So like a balance act between what you want to achieve and what your community wants you to do with a certain system, with a certain hero, with a certain aspect of the game. You just got in and you didn't get disconnected. Oh, you never mind. After being in the alpha, I certainly wouldn't pay $30 for this game yet, unless they added a bunch of content. I understand you, Judge 80, and nice to see you again on my channel, dude. How have you been, dude? I mean, this is still beta. I could consider this an open beta, early access launch, soft launch. It's still not finished, and they know it, and we should know it. I mean, if it was ready, it wouldn't be called early access on Steam. And early access on Steam reviews is something I never pay attention to, because the people who do early access reviews are people who shouldn't be allowed to play early access games in the first place. Most of the people, I can't say all of them, but most of the people who do those bad reviews because of a bad login day, stress test day of the servers, I mean, it's not the end of the world if you can't enter the server of a certain game on day one. It's not like you're competing, it's not like there's a leaderboard in this game like in Path of Exile, and it's not like the progress isn't going to get wiped at the end of early access. Everything we do now will get wiped a few months from now, maybe around Christmas, maybe around autumn, around Halloween, whenever they think the game is ready for a full launch, when it's ready for a launch on PC, PS4 and Xbox, or PS5 and Xbox, whatever platform they would launch for. So make sure you guys know that your progress is gonna get wiped. Don't try too hard with certain things. So I probably should have waited for tomorrow and probably should have streamed something else tonight, but I've already started this stream and I've got another half an hour or 40 minutes until I'm done. Maybe an hour max, but I don't think so because it's already past midnight. 3 minutes past midnight. So I might as well just end up end up playing off stream after my stream is done and just record myself playing for some of the videos I'm gonna pump out tomorrow. Yeah, the progress is gonna wipe from what I saw in the Discord. Alright. I'm gonna wait a little bit more and try again. But yeah, so far I haven't had a single game that wouldn't have issues with the login on its first days of early access or during its stress test phase. It happened to Temtem. It happened during the stress testing of Fractured, which is a interesting Unity platform MMO from an Italian dev company. So I was kind of expecting this, but I think they should have called that day a stress test day, so people would expect this. They should have kind of announced it beforehand that there will be a stress test weekend, so people would know that there will be issues. Because some people just don't expect it. I pretty much expected it. I was actually talking to some of my viewers on my stream that there's probably gonna be some stress test stuff and things like that happening as soon as the game is out of closed beta. I'm gonna Alt and F4 and try again. I did buy Pagan Online because I found the offer of €13 on one website. I think it was G2A, and I was planning on doing Pagan Online today. And Pagan Online is pretty much a dead game. For the past 6 months since December, it's not gotten a single patch note or update. And the developers seem to have abandoned it. And just knowing that it's handled by Wargaming, a terrible company. The company from that's making World of Tanks and warships and all of that you keep seeing ads. So this company, I probably should have done my research before getting Pagan Online. If I saw Wargaming being the publisher or developer of the game, I probably wouldn't have even bought it. I was gonna play it today. I've not played it yet. I've installed it but never started it. And then when I realized I can play Torchlight 3 and got my key, I just wanted to do that today. So maybe sometime next week or the week after I'm gonna do some Pagan Online just to see if the game is fine and worth the €13 I spent on Pagan Online. But I can tell you Torchlight 3, when the login issues have been taken care of, would definitely be worth it. So just give it some time. If you can play tomorrow or today, maybe during the weekday where there aren't too many people trying to get in, you might be able to enjoy it. And it has a lot to offer. It's still not ready, but even then it has a lot to offer the player base. As long as you jump into the game with the right mindset. I mean, don't expect this to be the next Path of Exile or the next Diablo. But if you compare it to games like Pagan Online and like Minecraft Dungeons, it can definitely be put into the same category. Compare it to Torchlight 2, well, it's not ready. I think wait until the game is ready before comparing it to Torchlight 2. but it does have that Torchlight feeling. It does have some sort of a Torchlight feeling when you play it. You kind of feel like you're in the same world, although a century into the future from Torchlight 2. I'm telling you, all that server issues would be fixed probably when I can no longer stream. That's how it's gonna be. Just my luck, just my luck. Can I try logging in with a different hero? Do I know if they've added any content since Quo's beta ended? I don't know. As per the patch notes, they didn't seem to have added new content. They're currently reworking the system. I know what's coming, but I can't tell you. I can tell you just the vague details of what's to come. There will be a system to replace the current map works. And it will have different stages, and that's as much as I can tell you without revealing too much. And I've promised not to talk about what I've seen, because I've seen work in progress, but there will be a system to replace the map works, and it will be distinctively endgame system. You would know that it's endgame, and it will be fun. It will allow you to customize your experience in similar ways how you customize your experience in Last Epoch's monoliths and in Wolfen's endgame and so on. And there will be this thing. But that's only one thing, and I did tell them that this may not be enough to bring the majority of ARPG players. One endgame system would not be enough as an activity. People would need more things than just one system. So before the game launches, I hope this system is ready and they start working on another system and finish it, because it just would get pretty boring pretty quickly if it's just that new system that they previewed. Do you think they looked at Wilson and thought, I want some of that launch mess? I don't think that's what happened here. I think they again, as the CEO said, there's no way to predict this happening. I mean, they probably assumed, okay, we had X number of players in the close beta, let's make X times 5. For the launch, and then they got X times 500 or X times 50 as people who wanted to go into the game. It's something that I've been seeing a lot lately. People expecting reasonable numbers and then getting unreasonably high numbers wanting to play their game, which is good, I guess, but in a way isn't. I mean, there's no way to predict how many people would want to play your game if you didn't do pre-orders. Wosen did do certain things, like people being able to pre-order the game 2 weeks in advance before the game launched. But on launch day, you can never account for the people who buy the game on early access launch or on launch day. Again, this is not a real launch, it's actually early access launch. So they announced it today, and they pushed it out today. If they kind of announced it few days ago, they could have seen how many copies the game sold and expected some of those people being on the queues, on the server queues. So that's probably the only one thing I think could have been better. If they announced the game today and waited another week to open the servers to see just how many people would buy it ahead of time. But again, you can never account for people who buy it on launch day. So there's that too. And yeah, for this problem, if you have this problem, the only thing you can do is wait. If you're not, if it's not that urgent, give it a time, some time, give it a day, play tomorrow. If you really don't want to wait until tomorrow and want to play today on day one now, if you want to play now, you're gonna have to wait some time. They're constantly expanding the server capacity. I mean, if you're on the Discord channel, you would know probably about that. About the Discord, let me see if I've got the comment. What was my comment line for the Torchlight Discord? I think it was Torchlight Discord, but I'm gonna quickly check my bot commands just to make sure I've got the right command setup. So Nightbot, there we go, Nightbot and MooBot. Commands custom. Show 100. So alright, I don't have this here, but alright, I know the link. Discord.gg/play Torchlight should be the link. So I'm gonna give you the link if you want to get notified about the state of things. This is the Discord channel you wanna join. The developers are very active there. They're very down to earth, and you can talk to them, have a discussion about this and that when they have time. Of course, keep in mind they're gonna be probably very busy this week with various things, not just launch and server issues, but probably hotfixing, patching certain things that might go awry with certain things. So expect that, but when things settle down a bit, you might even have some nice discussions with them. They're great people as a team who develops this game. I've never seen another company being this communicative with their gamers. Maybe 11th Hour Games, the developers of Last Epoch, are also kind of equally active in their Discord and in their official forums when it comes to discussions. But yeah, hopefully I can get in the game. I mean, 15 minutes past midnight. I'm gonna try for another maybe half an hour. If I can't get in a half an hour, I'm gonna keep trying to get in until I do, and then do some recording for footage for my video tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be releasing a video of my impressions of the game, the state it launched, talking about the patch notes and the changes and what certain things would mean for the game. I also am thankful for Extra for providing me with a key to play the game, because I probably would not have been able to spare some few bucks to get the game, because I kind of wasted a lot of, not wasted, but I spent a lot of money on other games like Minecraft Dungeons and other things that I recently bought with my Steam earnings that I got from Twitch over the last year. And suddenly, like when I found out that this game would be probably launching, I kind of said, oh shit, what am I gonna do? And then I found out they're gonna be giving us keys for participating in that focus group I talked about. So big ups to them. I heard something about creator codes. I heard something about creator codes being a thing here. I'm not sure whether small streamers like me would be getting creator codes, but if there is some sort of way to get you guys some discount on the game, I'll be sure to let you know. So maybe you might wanna hold on to that until something like that is there, to get your creator code, maybe from some of the bigger streamers, like I'm assuming people like Mr. Wama probably is getting creator codes if he plays this game, and he was
systems repaired.
Oh, Digiboy, thank you for the tip, dude. Thank you very much. And this reminds me, yesterday someone has tipped me, I think a YouTube viewer, and it didn't get announced on my stream, and then I saw it. So thanks very much. I think also Riker might be playing the game from the bigger streamers, because he has been doing an interview a month ago or so with Max Schaefer. So those are the big streamers that I know have been interviewing Max, and probably would be getting some creator codes. And thank you again, Digiboy, very much for that tip. Really appreciate this. little game fund top up. And I'm glad that you're enjoying the YouTube guides. I will be making build guides for this game. Believe me, this is the game that started my streaming and content creation on YouTube. If it wasn't for this game, I wouldn't be doing this. It's the game that made me want to consider this as a thing to do last year in April. So it's been more than a year already. Come on, get in. But you can always come to my Discord channel, and I can just talk to you about things for this game and other games, such as, for example, you should be able to see my Discord link, the Struck Web Discord. You can always talk to me there, but the problem with my Discord right now is send me a message. If you join, send me a message, because the bot is broken. The bot that many people were using to assign rows is broken, and I have to assign the row manually to everyone. I'm gonna post that link in Mixer just a moment. So if you join, just send me a PM and I'm gonna approve you. Poison has joined, I'm gonna approve him. Because reaction rows is right now broken and has issues with server capacity, mind you. Even Discord bots have problems with server capacity. And it's not the server capacity that they're having issue, but the one that's separating the different servers and linking them together, from what I understood. So okay, posting this and gonna try to go in again. Oh, actually it did work. Never mind, I'm gonna delete my message. So it did actually work in my Mixer bot. So yeah, if you do join my Discord server and wanna talk about Torchlight 3 builds, suggestions, hints, I kind of know some of the things that you might wanna do with skills, not with items. I only know most of the items from the alpha. When the game moved to closed beta, there were so many items that I've never looted and seen, but the Legendarium has all of those listed. And if you want to look at some of the possible combinations, check this one. You can theory craft all you want here. I'm gonna give you a link to the build calculator from Papi. Papi, a member of the community, of the Torchlight community, who was kind enough to make something like this for everyone who would be interested. He also has a build planner, so you might want to go to torchlightfansite.com and look for his build planner. I think I have a link to the old one. I need to update my commands for the new one. So over here you can plan your builds. You can also see on the side he's added the Legendarium, all the different items and powers. So you can see those are the powers of the legendary items you can find. And what the Legendarium is, I'm gonna show it on the screen in a moment. Let me just quickly try to go back in. I just talked about this earlier, but people might wanna see it again. I don't think it's sending it. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So as you can see here, that's a list of the legendary items that you can find in the game. And the Legendarium allows you to take the powers of items that you have dismantled, disenchanted, for materials. So you find the item and let's say you outlevel it and you no longer feel the weapon is strong enough for your level. Then what you do is you disenchant it, you get some materials, and then you can put this item's power in the Legendarium. You can have up to 3 of those active. It could be an item like an armor, it could be an item like a weapon, a shield. You pick 3 of those and you have those abilities like the Diablo 3 Canai's Cube. This was the last big feature that was added to the game. So it's gonna be amazing for certain build openings. I don't think you can do 3 of the same, but you can select 3 that you want and boom, make them. For example, I can get those 3 things and then I can get the bonus extra damage. For example, with the sets, when you have 3 items of the set equipped, you get a soft set bonus. And you can get 3 items of one set, 3 items of another set, and then 3 items of the third set in the legendarium, if you want to. Or you can get something like this and maybe something like this. There's many options that you can experiment with when it comes to this thing. Alright, let's try and log in again. Time is ticking. I'm not gonna be able to log in soon, unfortunately, so I'm gonna have to be playing tomorrow. I'll probably make a new hero after the stream, just for non-streaming playthroughs, and to keep the playthroughs of the stream separate. Or I might start just leveling one of those. We'll see. I can always delete one of those heroes and restart if needed. And yeah, again confirming it, wipe will be at the very end of early access, right before launch. So there's not gonna be multiple wipes, just one at the very end of early access. So they're saying 4 minutes ago, we are currently working to resolve server quest issues. The game will be going down for maintenance shortly and we will return as soon as possible, which they're saying would be 20 minutes. Around that time I probably would have stopped my stream. We're still inside the game. But I think the servers might already be down for maintenance. So I might as well just call it a night now and keep trying to log in, and once I log in I'm gonna start recording some footage, but tomorrow I'm gonna try and stream early. I'm gonna try and start the stream early. It depends how long it takes me to make the video about the changes. I might as well do it in 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. Maybe tomorrow I can do first impressions patch notes video part 1, and then maybe I can do another one tomorrow when I've got some more experience down the line. We'll see. I don't think I'm gonna be able to log in though. Just last try. Yep. The server is currently locked, so let's just exit and give it some time. They said 20 minutes, so everyone who is trying to get inside the game, give it some time. Oh, what's happening with the chat? Okay, it was doubled. There we go. First time I'm seeing this chat being like that, kind of doubled. Alright, I removed it. So I think that's gonna be it. When it comes to them adding new skills, check this calculator. All the skills that have been added are in the calculator you run. But yeah, thanks everyone for being here, for at least talking about the game if I couldn't play it. I'm promising you that I will be streaming a lot of this, because I've been waiting for so long to be able to be back to Torchlight. Keep it cool. Until next time, and goodbye, and good luck getting in once the maintenance is down.